Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lisa Elvin Stoltari, and I'm a genealogist and a passionate traveler. Over the last few years, I've been featuring each fille du roi, or king's daughter, and getting to know their stories a little bit better. There are over 700 of them. So even though we're on episode 259 today, and we've come a long way, we've still got a long way to go. But before we begin, let me show you ways you can support the channel. The first three keep you in the know. Subscribe, like, and notify. The next three are ways to help the channel grow. We have Coffee and Patreon, which are external platforms, and we have also my on my YouTube, on my Have Roots Will Travel website, and a fourth one actually is on the Super Thanks on the YouTube channel. So all of that helps this channel grow. So I really, really appreciate all the support thus far. Thank you so much. So let's get started, shall we? We are now going to do episode 259. Catherine Beaudon is her name. And we have her from a viewer request. I do not have her in my file, so let's get to know Catherine a little bit better. So Catherine was born in 1651 in Paris, France. Her parents were Sébastien Beaudon and Hilaire Leslie. She is from the 5e arrondissement of Paris, which is the 5th arrondissement, or 5th circle. And inside that 5th circle, you find the oldest part of Paris. You can still see traces of the Romans who built this area in the thermal baths that are there, and also there is a Roman amphitheater or remnants of it. So it is truly a remarkable place. In addition, it's also sometimes known as Le Quartier Latin because of the fact that so many extraordinary educational institutions are found here, notably Le Sorbonne, which of course taught in Latin. Now, part of the fifth is that it's such a prestigious place. It really has all that you can imagine that Paris would have. The church that she would have been baptized in, Saint Severin, dates from the 12th century, but there was a church here even as far back as the 9th century. This church has withstood and been renovated over the 1,000 years that it has been in existence, and it still stands today as a testament. So if this is your ancestor, you are very blessed to be able to stand in the church that she would have been baptized in. Catherine would arrive in New France after her father's death on August 15, 1671, aboard the Saint Jean Baptiste. She came with a dowry of about 300 pounds. The groom that she selects, and who selected her, his name was Pierre Coquet de la Tournelle, and he was born in 1636 in Rouen, France. His parents were René Coquet and Alice Fayelle. Now, the construction of that church began sometime around 1432, and Rouen is an extraordinary, it's probably on my top of my list of cities I want to visit in France. And it is found on the River Seine in northern France. It's the capital of the region of Normandy. And Rouen has an amazing historical story, and it was at one time the largest city in medieval Europe. It played a prominent role in both English and French histories from the 11th to the 15th century. Joan of Arc was tried and burned alive here in 1431 in this area. Rouen is a city of cultural and educational significance. And the University de Rouen at Normandy is an extraordinarily prestigious educational institution. And it's from this area that the Statue of Liberty sailed in June of 1885. And they still mark, every 4 years, they mark this occasion and have, festivities with it as well. Now, Pierre would come to New France as a soldier with the Gagne regiment. He was part of the Grande Fontaine Company, and he would arrive August 17th, 1665. His profession was a weaver, and we find him in the 1666 census. He's, obviously finished up his military service, and he is known as, he's 28 years old, tapissier volontaire, so a voluntary. So he's on his own. That's what I interpret. Please let me know if I've got that wrong. But I believe that's what it means. A little over 2 months after she set foot in Quebec, New France, she and Pierre were married October 12th, 1671, at l'Église Notre-Dame. Settled at Neuville, which of course in English is Newtown. It's a village that is found on the north shore of the St. Lawrence River, just west of Quebec City. And it was founded in 1684, and it remains an extraordinarily beautiful little town. And I stayed here last summer, a couple of days. It was amazing, amazing, very peaceful, and it really does look like the pictures. In 1653, the area was granted as a seigneurie by Jean de Lauzon to Jean Bourdon de Saint-Jean for his son, Jean-François Beaudon de Domburg, who was an engineer, a surveyor, a cartographer, and an attorney general to the sovereign. In 1680, the Domburg seigneurie was acquired by Nicolas Dupont de Neuville. Thereafter, the seigneurie was known as Neuville. Now, I have seen older documents that actually state Domburg, and so that's why I wanted to give you a little bit of that history. So in case you stumble across it, you'll know that it was once called something else. Now, in 1679, the Saint François de Sales parish was formed and became a civil parish in 1684. And now the place was also known as Pointe aux Trembles in reference to the point on which the church was built, which was once covered with aspen, which is what the tremble means, and birch. Now, I also want to point out, like Pointe aux Trembles with an S is the city in the Montreal suburbs. So that's important to note that there could be two Pointe aux Trembles in your history. And I, at one point, confused them. So I wanted you to know that. Have 10 children in all. Elisabeth would marry Maitre Morissette and have 10 children, 8 of whom would make it to adulthood. Nicolas would marry twice, Catherine Gauthier and Marianne Faget, but did not leave any children. Catherine would marry Louis Doré and have 15 children, 8 of whom would make it to adulthood, 5 of whom would leave descendants. Louis's mother was a fille du roi, whom we have not yet profiled, Jeanne Desfossés. Marie-Angélique would marry Nicolas Mat and have 11 children, 7 of whom would leave descendants. Madeleine Auvray was Nicolas' mother, a fille du roi who we profiled in episode 138. Marie-Madeleine would marry Charles Gagne and have 9 children, 6 of whom would leave descendants. Charles' mother was Madeleine Leguet, who we have not yet profiled. Michel would pass away in infancy. Marie-Françoise would die at 2 years of age. Marie-Anne would marry Jean-François Faget and have 3 children, 2 of whom would make it to adulthood. Charles would die at 2 years of age. And Marie-Thérèse would marry Jean-Baptiste Boisjoli and have 6 children, 2 of whom would survive to adulthood, 1 of whom would leave descendants. And let's have a look at the 1681 census, the only census we have for this family. Pierre Coquin de La Tournelle is 45. Catherine is his wife, 30 years of age. Children, Elisabeth, Nicolas, Catherine, Angélique. That's all we've got. Then they have 3 bêtes à cornes. Those are 3 horned animals. I used to think it was goats, but now it's any animal with a horn. And they have 50 farmland, which is pretty good, about 12 acres of land in Neuville. Died October 4th, 1703. Both of them are buried in Neuville, and he was about 67 years of age, although some other records state 75 years of age. He and Catherine were a week shy of celebrating their 32nd anniversary. Catherine herself would pass away in August of 1718 at the age of 66. By 1729, she and Pierre would leave us 99 descendants. So ends the story of Catherine Beaudon. I think that her story is one of endurance and fortitude and that she was one of the pioneers at Neuville, which I've told you I'm just in love with that little town. And I am so grateful that she came to our shores and she left us with 99 descendants out of 1729, which isn't too shabby. So thank you so much, Catherine, for your sacrifice, for your endurance, and for making a life here in New France so that your descendants can carry on. And with that, I also want to say thank you to my patrons, supporters, subscribers. All of you contribute to the channel and its success. So I am so grateful to all of you. And I will bid you adieu and au revoir until I see you on the next episode of Les Filles du Roi.